Joey used to be a big girl, and now welcome back to another episode of Dumb and Broke. I'm your host, Bryan Shapiro. And as you can tell, this is my first virtual podcast. So, first and foremost, I want to welcome Joey, but also thank Joey for being my guinea pig as I really don't know what I'm doing. Hi, Joey.
Hey, I mean, I'm used to you not knowing what you're doing, so that's why we're dumb and broke.
Yep, emphasis on Dumb and Broke. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a running theme of Joey just like throwing shade at me for the next 45 minutes to an hour, or however long I can last. But nonetheless, I'm really happy to have you on here, Joey. In fact, I always wanted you on my podcast, but I didn't really want to go the virtual route just because I thought it was going to be like a lot harder. So far, that's proven to be true. But Joey doesn't live in New York. He lives in, dare I say it, Ohio. Yeah, that's embarrassing. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
We
you
love
say three
Ohio.
times, a scarecrow jumps out.
Yeah, the chili. What's that place? That
Applebee's.
no, the chili place. Am I confusing it with a
You, I thought like chili as in hot. Yeah, Skyline
Skyline chili? Yeah, that's like all you got going for you over there, right?
and Graders
And
ice cream.
Graders ice cream. Yeah, can't forget Graders. Wow. Yeah,
Absolutely not.
and I only know all this stuff because so for background, Joey and I used to work together at the WTA, and there was a big tournament in Cincinnati, Ohio. So every year go to Skyline, Graders, and Applebee's. That's pretty much it.
And now Applebee's is gone. So
Yeah. Oh, really?
Ohio's, yeah, a couple of years ago, Ohio's just killing it. You know,
That's sad. But hey, you got Serena Williams coming this year, allegedly.
I mean, that's what they say.
Yeah,
Who knows?
we'll see. So yeah, Joey and I used to work together briefly. We didn't. We actually only worked together for a short few months, and actually during that time, like we didn't talk that much, did we?
No, because your desk was facing a wall,
Yeah.
and I was on the other end of the room. I guess you
Right.
can call it right, part of the office.
Yeah. I was like the cute little young intern.
Bald.
Everyone. I was bald, wasn't I? I
Mhm.
mean, I was bald up until like a few months
Half
ago.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This forehead, though. Let's not point. Let's not even talk about that. Um,
Okay. Yes, Miss Tyra.
so yeah, so we worked together, and then it's funny because like, how many times have we gone together since? Like, we worked together in 2015, and like, I can probably count on one hand how many times I've seen you in real life since then, right?
Yeah. I went down to Florida in 2016, and then at least twice I saw you in Cincinnati. I definitely once.
Yeah,
So
your
yeah,
your videos
oh,
lagging
and
a
I
little
saw
bit,
wait,
but
but I saw you at the Open
right.
and
Actually,
and Cleveland. I saw you like twice in a 4-week period last year,
yeah, last year
and
was
that was
like
like
the most we've
weird.
seen each other in years.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So and like if people only saw like our text combos, like we would a be canceled and b no one should see that. But we're gonna be
Yeah.
good for this next hour,
Angels.
as good can be. And yeah, I mean, so obviously my podcast is called Dumb and Broke. I talk to my friends about their jobs, and let me tell you, Joey works. Like this kid, like he's always freaking working. Like I actually give him a hard time because I feel like he works too much and he should like really put himself out there and be more social. But this isn't a therapy session. It can be if you want though. Um,
I'm not the
really,
one who needs therapy, but I
hey,
graduated.
we all need therapy. In fact, we talked about this on one of my last podcasts. Not that you listen, but yeah, we talked about how everyone needs therapy. Um,
Mhm.
yeah.
How's
So
that going for you?
I I
You
haven't.
can start. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. We love taking our own advice.
hmm hmm
Mhm.
Okay, this is about you right now, not me. I know like we're approaching Leo season and everything is normally about me, but
But don't worry, Virgo season's right after.
oh right. Okay, so your main job, you do like social media, and you've been doing social. That's what you were essentially doing at the WTA when we worked together, or content, that whole thing. And I feel like that's like your niche, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what you do. But like, what does that even mean? Like, what does a social media person even freaking do?
Yeah. So I guess on a how most people interpret a social like media. So I'm not a social media manager. I'm really in my field. I'm kind of on an island. There's not a lot of me. So pretty much most companies on social media, they're the ones handling, I say public facing. So the posts, the strategy behind those posts, you're getting all the metrics, things like that, and curating a strategy behind that. Me, so I work for the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. I've been there since January of 2020. So my whole tenure has basically been ridden with COVID and that kind of content, which I guess being, for at an academic health center, that's where you want to be, so you're not potentially losing your job. But my role is kind of divided into two parts. So I oversee all of our brand approved pages, and because we are a state institution, there is a whole social media policy behind it with university marketing, and that includes like how many times you're supposed to post on a certain platform, making sure HIPAA is not violated. There's a few other items that each approved page has to make sure they're following. So I make sure the admins for those pages, whether they're physicians, residents, admins, that they're following those rules. So I oversee about 75 pages across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And the other half of my role, which is the more unique part, is working with experts. So when I say experts, I don't only mean physicians, your MDs, but people who are PhDs, genetic counselors, athletic trainers, different people, if they either want to start or improve their current social media presence. I work with them, either one-on-one or in a group basis, to, basically give them the best tips and tricks to make sure that they're maximizing what they want out of their social media presence. So that's where I kind of fall into the piece. I really don't do much public facing content. I will do some strategy.
I've seen you do some. You've done some fun like TikToks and things like
Yeah,
that,
so
reels.
yeah, we'll do different like TikTok ideas that I'll help on, or a lot of our Instagram memes. We were doing a lot of memes throughout, not so much during COVID, but definitely the whole vaccine process. And since then, we've been doing different things, stuff that's trending, that will try and hop on the trend train and kind of use that to our advantage. So that's kind of the most strategic side of things that I do on a public facing side.
I mean, most of that sounded really boring to me, and I feel like I would hate it. But I feel like someone would find that cool. I have always like I like work in like PR and like people. I feel like a lot of people always assume like social media falls into that, and it really doesn't at all. Like I'm actually like pretty bad at social media. I mean, you know that like you used to write like half of my captions and like things like that. So like it's an important job, especially in this day and age. So
Yeah,
props to you, mama.
we're trying. I mean, you're 100% accurate. I mean, today we had a day long retreat with the whole marketing and communications department. It's over 130 people, I think. And we were kind of talking about how, specifically, we were talking about our recruitment strategies to get, we have like thousands of job openings specifically within nursing. But sometimes people think, oh, recruitment kind of falls under social media, or the recruiter should know about social media and tagging things or putting, money and spend behind that. But that's not necessarily the case. Or we have our own PR team who handles not only all of our press stuff, but they're the ones who are curating all of our stories on our big content engine that just came out, and making sure that we're sharing patient success stories and the research that we're doing and things that are really separating us from the pack.
Okay, well, okay, yeah. So that's one of his jobs. Like I said, I'm also like really distracted by my own eyes because you can see like my ring light through here. It's just it's so bad, but whatever. And I also realized that I don't know how long we've been going already. And like, I usually am able to be able to tell. So this is just we'll see how this goes. But so far, so good. Your camera's lagging a bit. This is just like dumb and broke at its finest. And I'm living for it actually. But,
Well, it's
anyways,
because I'm not in my apartment that has pretty great Wi-Fi because one of my other jobs is Rover. So I do a lot of dog sitting, and so I am currently at a job that I'm not used to. So that might be why my shit's lagging.
yeah, hopefully this
So
even makes it because we'll see.
you know,
If you're seeing
your
this.
mouth to God's ears. Who knows?
Yeah, so yeah, you do Rover, which is like a dog sitting, pet sitting service. And you do that a lot, I feel like. You're always like at someone else's house. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
no, it's definitely picked up a lot the past like 2-3 months. And like last summer, I did some jobs, but like I feel like so many people are now finally comfortable going out and traveling that it's just like ramped up so much.
Yeah, so Joey also Ubers. Like, can you guys like even fathom he has a full-time job. He's doing Rover and he's Ubering. Like he
I'm a
hates
jack of all
himself.
trades. I
Yeah.
do. I hate myself enough to just fill out my time with just working. Yes,
Yeah. My God. Like
facts.
you and you're not rich, right? Like
No, because I've just been paying off my loans as much as I can.
you
Whatever
are
I make goes right back to my loans.
you are literally the epitome of dumb and broke. Like you should be the poster child of this whole podcast.
I mean, we can change the whole layout of your icon and everything since I
Just your
clearly
face.
am a dumb and broke icon. Yeah,
Yeah.
just put my face.
Mm-hmm.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, I'll reconsider. I'll talk to my marketing people, aka Mandy, who was my first guest on my podcast.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, Uber. That's got to be like probably like the craziest job because my
Yeah.
God, you and also scary. Like I've heard so many horror stories about people in Ubers, like from a driver's perspective, but also
Like the one
some of
time
the
I found a
drivers are.
gun.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
You want to see the pic, guys? Do you want to see the picture of me holding a gun?
This
So
is
I
only
had,
for people watching on YouTube. If you're listening,
yeah.
you can't see this, but
So backstory, I was just doing my thing, and I have a candy bucket with some waters. Like I have a little setup because we're all about a good tip,
he's that Uber
and
driver, guys.
yeah, tips help. And then now having Raj, oh, we're set. I made sure that we are fully loaded. I need to find it, but
Didn't you
somebody
all?
like I get
Didn't someone complain about Raj once? Like they were like allergic or something?
that was when I was like that was before Raj, but when I had my parents' dog for the weekend.
Oh,
And they're the same breed and they're hypoallergenic. But that's besides the point. But like one person just wasn't about it, so they just didn't ride, which is fine. But literally, no one's ever had a problem. Most of them love it. The drunk white girls eat it up,
excuse me.
eat it up that well. And so, but one time, I guess they went into the store to get his girlfriend some feminine products, and I was like, oh, that is so sweet. Like he's gonna go in there for his girl, great. And then drop them off. I do a whole ride after that. And I dropped something on my side. I couldn't reach it. So I got out and went to the back seat to pick it up. And that's where I saw a gun in my candy bucket. And I was like, if 2 + 2 is 4 and 5 + 5 is 10, what the fuck is this? So I was like, this
Were they young?
Not, probably my age-ish. But I mean, most of my driving has been throughout COVID, and we've been having to wear masks in Ubers. And so it's been basically, the obnoxious bitches who don't believe in masks or try to be a problem. But for the most part, I really haven't had many issues or cases where I've had to, I've never had to call the cops on anybody. Oh, I've had to call once because I think somebody was overdosing in the back of my car. And I just wasn't comfortable leaving them when I left them. So I called them, but fortunately someone already called them. They're already aware of that situation. But yeah, I mean, it's an experience. I get to see different parts of Columbus. I get to meet a lot of different people. from
Do you,
many
are you a
walks of life.
talker? Do you talk to all of them, or do you like?
I always just say, "Hey, how are you?" And then let them lead. I'm not one to like be the one to start the conversation because I know how I am as an Uber passenger. Um,
Someone just told me that you can like put like a setting that like says don't talk to me. I haven't seen that. Like as a passenger.
I haven't seen that as a driver, but I haven't driven in a few weeks because my car needs to get fixed
Oh,
because we were in a car accident a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, so I don't want to like. I'm all about trying to get as many 5 stars as possible. So I'm not trying to like talk too much. But if they talk, I'll talk back. And then if they say if they're having a conversation and they like, I might laugh with if they say something funny, and then that kind of like breaks the ice where they ask for input, or I'll just give it unsolicited. But I'm usually able to read the vibe of the people or the conversation if I should be quiet or not, or if it's like a drunk couple fighting, arguing, like I'll just pet Raj because Raj joins me on my trips.
you know where you're going when you're picking up someone, but you don't know the destination, right?
It
Or
depends on the um there's different statuses essentially for um an Uber driver to attain. So if you get to a certain status by doing a certain number of rides in a 3-month period, you can get that setting where it shows you ahead of time where the trip is going, how long it'll be, which direction it is. So if you're trying to, let's say I would never do this trip, but let's say it took me to Cleveland from Columbus, which is 2 hours. I would try and find rides that would only help me get back to Columbus. So I'm in that status now. I'm probably going to lose it because I haven't really been driving much between not being able to and just the traveling that I'm doing / going to be doing. But I'm usually able to know where I'm going and like how much I'll be able to get off of that ride. And I'll decline it if it's not worth it for me. And there's plenty of, rides that are like that. It tells me the person's rating. So usually I don't like to accept anybody under a 4.8. I feel like if you get to a 4.8,
oh my god, I don't think you would accept me. Let me check my Uber rating.
I'm a 5.0. So
A 5.0 driver.
no passenger. I'm like a 4.96 driver, which like bums me
Uber.
out.
Where's my profile? I'm a 4.83.
See, so I would accept you, but like it would really depend on where we were going.
Damn. Can you see what they look like?
No, I feel like you used to.
That's
For
probably a good
sure.
thing. That's probably a good thing.
Well, I feel like you should like know what they look like just in case somebody who doesn't show up gets in your car and tries to kill you.
Oh,
And as
that.
an
But
attractive
I feel like a lot
young
of like,
person, I could be at risk.
yeah, you're lagging now, but
I said as a young attractive
no, I
person, I
heard
could be
you.
at risk.
I
Oh,
heard you. It just came in late. Why do I
I
have a
hate when that happens.
4.83? Why would ew? Why is my rating like not perfect?
Well, it's probably the rides you don't remember. And who are you getting to Ubers with?
Oh, true. Yeah. Damn, I'm pissed. I want a 5.0. I feel like I've never been like
But
disrespectful.
I don't I don't use Uber probably, well, especially like here, but like you live in New York where pretty much it's either taking the subway or Ubering.
Yeah.
So we're using it a lot more. So there's more opportunity to get a lower than 5.
Yeah. I never give a driver less than 5, I don't think. I always just like automatically hit 5. But
Do you always tip?
I always tip. Yeah.
Tip your Uber drivers, bitches. If you take anything from this one, tip your Uber drivers. Thank you.
A
And if you
couple
do Uber Eats too.
I do a lot of Uber Eats. That's funny that you said that though, because a couple episodes ago, me and my friend Emma were talking about how like everyone gets a tip now, and like how tipping culture is like just like such a thing. And I'm not necessarily, I guess I am complaining a little bit because I don't necessarily think everyone gets a tip. I mean, I think the service industry is like well deserved, but we were talking about how like you go and get a coffee and they like flip the iPad around and it's like to confirm the payment, but there's
No tip. If all you did was flip a screen around for me, I'm sorry.
yeah, but like I give him $1 all the time, not all the time, but like almost.
Usually I give $1. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like only because I feel pressure and I feel like you know, I'll get ridiculed if I don't,
Or
which I
spit your
wouldn't,
coffee.
or that. They usually give the coffee first too, so. But anywho, you know what? I want to get into some controversial opinions because I don't want to like wait, save it for the end and then like scramble, and I also don't know how long we've been going. So, um, let's get into the controversial opinions, then we
Get
can
into it.
bring it back. Um, but we were talking before we started recording. I should have saved the Beyonce one for you. I think it was one of like the first episodes where
It was the
one of the
first one for sure.
was it? Yeah, it was
The
Beyonce's
first or
over.
second, because one of them was no, was it the same one as the High School Musical?
I
And
don't remember. I don't think it was the one with Mandy. So, but whatever. One of the controversial opinions said Beyonce is overrated. Um,
to you.
and I also asked people recently for some new controversial opinions, and two people wrote that one, which A, I didn't realize people really felt that way, and B, clearly you're not listening to my podcast because if you had, you would have known we already discussed it. But here we are again.
Who
But
are those two people? Let's
oh, I called out Felicia already. I posted it on my
bye,
story.
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Yeah, that girl has some nerve. And there was one other person, but I'm not going to call them out. Um, so yeah, Joey, what do you think about Beyonce
I
being
am
overrated or not?
She's not overrated. I think she's, and we've discussed this. I mean, vocally, she is one of the best vocalists of like our generation, I would say. I will
100%.
say on the same other side of the coin, she doesn't show that off really anymore. Her music has definitely changed the past couple of albums.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
What's that TikTok challenge that people were doing of it was like a run in the beginning of the song. You know the I'm not about to do it, but do you know what I'm talking about?
Countdown. That was,
Countdown.
you know what? That was not bad.
Well, I didn't go all the way up there. But if you want to try, go ahead.
Well, no, but your beginning was really good.
Thank you.
And not even shading you. I thought it was.
Thank you. That's funny. One of my friends recently
So
said
you
that
can sing?
they said I can sing, and I was like, "What?" So that's my next venture. I'm just gonna.
I mean, you have some of the equipment already,
Yeah.
and you definitely have a Beyonce forehead. So I think you have a lot going for you. Oh god, the hive is gonna come for me, y'all. I'm part of the hive. We can joke.
All right, I'm bored. We're gonna do a controversial opinion.
I swear, the first one says, "Is Beyonce overrated?" And I'm gonna.
No, that's gone. I didn't do that. This one is
So
like I feel like attacked right now. Actually,
oh, thank
this
God
one
that was
says
about me.
this one says gay people are some of the most homophobic people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, honestly. And so I joke about it all the time. I always say I'm homophobic because like I don't I don't have gay friends really. I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I've always like it's weird because like I used to have like in college, I was really close with this one guy who's gay, like just like completely like friends, but like I really haven't had a close gay friend. I mean, you're the closest I got, but like we don't talk to each other. I mean, we don't see each other. We don't talk to each other. We talk to each other almost every day, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I've always had. I always. I, I don't know if I always say like I feel like gay people don't like me, but like I must be the issue. I must be the problem because
We can stop the podcast there. Bryan's the problem. No, I
but yeah,
think I don't know if it's just a a LGBTQIA plus issue. I think just society in general is just so. I don't think it's like internalized homophobia, but I think it's just so many
oh,
people.
very that.
It's oh, I'm fat people, or I'm not into a specific race, or I don't think it's really, gay on gay crime, whatever. I think it's just a I almost said industry, but a population that, I mean, think about it. If you've just kind of been ridiculed for X amount of years and for just being yourself, and you're it flips the cycle, and then you kind of project that out. So I can see where it stems from, but at the same time, you have to kind of break that cycle. But I think pretty much every color of the glitter rainbow has some kind of phobia attached to it. And again, it's not even going down to just the LGBT community, but I mean, straight people as well. I mean, they have preferences, but really preferences it's gross.
Yeah.
Because you're really just it. I hate when people have a preference, or definitely, like, so we'll get into it, but like I used to be very heavy, and there's people who are just into big people, and it's like, obviously you kind of notice that at that size, but now that I've lost a lot of weight, it's like, well, like that's not okay.
Like you get attention from people that you wouldn't have gotten attention from before, and it's like, yeah. That's really sad. I feel like I see that all the time. Like you can see it on like the dating apps, like specifically like Grinder. Like people will literally be so bold on their bios and be like, no, like no,
yeah, like no 5 head, no glasses, please.
Yeah, or like you have to be above 6 foot, like things like that, or like you can't be feminine, you can't be. People will even say like their racial preferences, and it's like, wow, like we're really
like
doing that.
That's not. But you see that on all the apps.
Yeah.
This is where Ohio sucks. Like, I feel like I have a lot of friends outside of Ohio that have had a lot of good luck with Hinge. Hinge here sucks so much.
All of them suck for me. I have not had good luck on any of these freaking apps. Even I'm on Raya, not to brag, but I'm on Raya, and like, that shit sucks too.
Oh, sorry, I got hit by your ego just now. It finally hit Ohio. Sorry.
You should pursue comedy.
Sorry, I can't outshine you there as well.
Okay. Anyways, so we're in agreement that gay people can be homophobic, and a lot of them are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not like
the world is homophobic. I mean, hello, look at America right now.
But I think like the controversial part is like gay people hating gay people, and that's just like a thing. But yeah.
Hashtag gay on gay crime.
Per. Actually, no, not per. Okay, should we do one more controversial opinion?
I think we should.
Okay. Let's see what we got. How long should a person's cancellation last? Do you want to start it?
It depends on what caused said cancellation.
Yeah. What is like the most common cancellation?
Oh, I feel like people old tweets.
Yeah, and like with like a racial slur, right?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't think there's ever a time to tweet or say or sing any kind of racial slur ever. However, that's not for me to claim as a white person. So I would just never to begin with. And I've always been pretty smart on what I do tweet for the most part. For the most part, we've had a couple of blips here and there, but like on a grand scale of like the world seeing it, no, just the wrong people have, or the right people have seen that at the wrong time. But I think that's depends how old they were, or the times. Like when tweets from 2012, 2013 are coming out, it was a different time, and you were just trying to say the most outlandish things to get attention and likes and retweets.
Yeah.
So, I think it depends on the circumstance, but I also, on the other, side, believe that everyone should get a second chance regardless of what happened. I mean, you can give me an example and I could tell you, oh, it was warranted. They should no longer be, in society, or no, they should have gotten their second chance.
Like, what about like Jeffree Star?
I mean, was he really canceled because he's still raking in millions and still doing all of his businesses?
True. Yeah, I guess like they were like silent on social media for a while, but it didn't like
I mean,
affect
that's the
them
way to do it.
financially.
These rich people, they find the crisis communications and management firms to help them figure out what's the best plan of action, and they kind of do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at like Shane Dawson, like he's, making not really a comeback, but he's kind of in the public again. I think he is deserving of a second chance, because I
Yeah.
feel like he's getting canceled for the same, like it's this pops up, they cancel him, some time goes by, and the exact same thing they talk about that cancel him the first time, they'll just re-cancel him over it. So, I mean, a cat did try to cancel Shane Dawson, so Noah would do it, and he'd do it again. Bop,
No,
bop.
no. What do you think? Say meow. Oh, he's camera shy.
So,
Yeah, I agree with you there. Also, word of advice. Um, if you're like blowing up on the internet, if you're trying to be famous or whatever, delete all your freaking social media posts. Like, come on, guys.
so
Don't be
easy to
stupid.
search some basic terms that people will search on Twitter and delete those tweets.
Yeah.
Like I'm never tweeted a song lyric that would like, that's stupid to begin with. But if some people do, whatever. But like, I would never use the N word. I would never use the C word. I'm never worried about those tweets because
What's the C word?
See you next Tuesday.
Oh, I've said that on the pod already a few times.
Oh, yeah. But like, this is on verbal.
What about the F word? Not fuck.
Oh, I mean, I think it depends who's saying it and in the context. Like, there
What do
are
you think?
words that there are words just like the N word. That's not a word I can and should ever claim, but that's not for me to tell a person of color that they can't use that word.
Right. So do you think like gay people?
I don't like that word. I feel like people of the LGBT community can use that because in a way it's kind of just trying to reclaim that power and turn a weapon against them into something that they can claim back.
Yeah.
For me, I wouldn't cancel somebody on using that. But I'm pretty open-minded in a lot of my thought process.
Yeah.
Not some, other people might not be.
I agree with that too. I definitely like will say it with my friends, but I would never the F word I'm talking about. And I don't think I've ever used it in a derogatory way. And I'm not even saying that's a right thing to do, but like you said, I think it's like
I'll call somebody a queen instead.
yeah, like I feel like we get a pass for saying that because we're a part of the community, but for someone else to say it. And
No,
also,
because
I feel like most people
there's
outside
now
of the community saying it, they're not saying it as a term of endearment. Like,
there's malintent behind it.
yeah. So, I forget what the controversial opinion was, to be honest.
Canceled.
Oh yeah. Okay, I think we're in agreement that like, I mean, we didn't really answer the question. Like, can we put like an amount of time on?
No, but let's say like somebody like, I don't know, Josh Duggar. Absolutely not. Goodbye. Go to jail. Don't collect $200 and then burn in hell.
Who was that? I'm Googling him.
From the 8,000 Kids and Counting show where he was like, child porn or whatever. Yeah, those people, goodbye.
Yeah, that's not even like cancellation. Like I'm talking about like a social media cancellation, like the Jenna Marbles, the Shane Dawsons, like people like that.
Was Jenna Marbles canceled? I thought she just had like a little.
Yeah, she got canceled and she like quit the internet.
Well, I thought there was like something that literally was not a big deal and she just couldn't take it and then she quit. She really wasn't canceled.
I don't want to spread rumors to all of my followers, but
there's so many.
Pretty sure she did blackface.
But when did she do blackface? Not that it's okay.
Many years ago,
that's
but
the thing.
Yeah.
Nobody back, I would say before, like pre-2012. I mean, again, I would just dress up as me in white and then just wear the outfit. But people weren't as socially conscious many years ago as they should have been and are now. So I would forgive that. But is that my place to forgive?
No.
So
Then there are the people that are almost like immune to being canceled, like our girl Trisha Paytas.
Trisha Paytas.
I know it's wrong. Like, she's done so many like terrible things, but like I can't help but stan.
But I think also knowing that most of the time she's trolling.
Yeah.
And she's not being malicious behind the words that she's putting out. Mm-hmm. And there's also like a little mental illness. So like,
yeah. And also just like lack of knowledge. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes like people just like say words without even like knowing the meanings behind them. So it's like, how can you really even take them serious when like they're not serious?
Like, and if she wants her gender to be a chicken nugget, let it be a chicken nugget.
What? Did she do that?
Yes. She identified as a chicken nugget. There's nothing wrong with that. Chicken nuggets are great.
Yeah.
They're a lot better than people most of the time.
Yeah, I agree. That's so funny. I forgot about that.
I mean, the list is there's a CVS receipt.
I love her, and she's about to have a child, or she may have like given birth already. I don't know. That's wild. But okay, I feel like we're coming up to the end of the podcast. I think we are good on the controversial opinions. Last thing I wanted to touch on, because we alluded to it a few times about like your weight loss, and like I feel like that was like such a big journey for you, and it's a continued journey. But Joey used to be a big girl, and now
big bitch,
a big old bitch, and now he's just a bitch.
Yeah.
But no, is that rude to say that like someone used to be fat?
No, because I said it first.
Okay.
Like fat Amy. So skinny bitches like them couldn't say it behind her. Like she claimed it. So yes. I said I was a big bitch. So it's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Or say it behind my back like a normal person.
But yeah, of course we already spoke about like if you're comfortable talking about this, but yeah. You want to talk about a little bit about like your journey? Yeah.
So, I mean, at my heaviest, I probably was about 440 pounds. And I started, my job at Ohio State in January of 2020. And to be like completely blunt, my benefits are amazing at Ohio State. And they have the #1 comprehensive weight management
Shout out
program.
to health insurance, to good health insurance.
Good health insurance. If you want to get good insurance, feel free to marry me, Bryan. So I went to an info session and kind of just started the process. I've always tried different diets.
I don't think you said it yet. Did
you say it? So I lost it naturally. No, I had gastric bypass surgery. So I had it on October 1st, 2020. And so that in January, I started the process, and I had to, do 6 months of PCP appointments. I had a couple of meetings with dietitians and psychologists, and I had to do a sleep study to make sure, if I had sleep apnea or not. I had to do, fun fact, if you're a big bitch that is going to go through the surgery, you're going to have to do a liver shrink diet, which was 2 weeks of unlimited salad vegetables, 5 protein shakes, and a lean cuisine a day for 2 weeks.
And for someone who like used to like eat like fast food, like that was probably like torture.
It was, but it's only temporary.
Yeah.
And they do that because it's laparoscopic, and basically the liver, as a person of size, your liver is very fatty. So when they're like kind of lifting it up to kind of do all that rerouting for the bypass itself, the liver can break itself off from the weight on the spatula. So they don't want that to happen. So it just takes a couple of weeks for it to, get to an ideal size, I guess.
Right.
But for me, I had GERD, so like acid reflux. So that was my only option to have, but it also fixed my acid reflux issues. So essentially what they do is they reroute the stomach and kind of create it bypasses most of the intestine. And so I don't process food the same. So I'm supposed to take my multivitamins every day. I had it in October of 2020, and I'm down 200 pounds since.
Wow.
And
That's
yeah,
so
so I'm
awesome. Like, that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. I've gained a few pounds back, but I honestly think that like the one day that I stepped on the scale for like I did some PR work, I guess, for the program.
Yeah.
And I just think the scale was like very off that day. But I was like, I'm down 214 pounds. But I had a setback where I lost a little bit of more weight. And since after where I couldn't eat for a while, you gain it back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I've basically been this for a couple of months. So I'm scheduled to kind of start the post surgeries in September. I'm planning on kind of getting my skin on my stomach removed.
Right. Because I
And,
feel like people forget that like the weight loss is like
I mean, like,
only a
honestly, this way, like, I have, like, this will
yeah.
probably be last. But, like, it's so annoying.
By
Like,
the
I
way,
play a lot of,
if you're not watching, Joey just
which you
showed
should
like
be.
his arm, and just showed like the extra skin. But yeah,
Yeah, so like the thing was my surgeon was always saying, make sure you go to the gym and tone up as early as you can. And I was going to the gym, but I waited a little too long. And so it's hard to, I mean, I was going to have skin regardless, but it maybe a little bit could have been saved. But I'll have surgeries. But the stomach one is going to be the first one. And then I think my thighs will be the second. And
and
then
then
my arms
the
and chest
BBL.
will probably last.
What about the BBL?
Well, I'm hoping with my thought, like, it hurts to sit for a really long period of time because like all of my padding went away. So I'm not sure
Oh,
what can be done, but it's been doing a lot better
are you in pain
with
right now?
time. But no, I'm never in pain when I'm on Dumb and Broke with Bryan Shapiro. But I tennis is my biggest passion, and so I've been trying this year specifically is kind of not my New Year's resolution, but my 2022 goal was to see how far I could take my tennis and how much I can improve because I've always felt growing up playing that I had a lot of potential, but I never was the right size to be a tennis player. I was, basically a big ass linebacker. So I
So
wanted
being
to
on the
make
court
sure.
now must feel so good and different. Like you can
Yeah,
actually
I
like
mean, I overrun for shots. Like I take lessons every week, and I overrun because I'm so used to, running a certain way or gearing up for a shot a certain way. But now I play a lot of tournaments. I've played in some professional tournaments, which was
didn't you just
always my
win a
dream.
tournament?
I just won a tournament, yeah, in Indianapolis, where I had a save championship point in the final
Ooh,
before beating the top seed. So no big deal there.
congrats. That's
But,
huge.
but yeah, I played some professional tournaments.
Yep.
And
You even won like a
honestly,
point.
yes, I've won dozens of points. My last match, I won a point in each set because I was actually playing somebody ranked in the ATP and someone who was number like 5 in the collegiate season this past year,
Yeah.
and just beat a former top 50 player today. So I played him on Monday, and he's just beating everybody now. So
That's pretty cool
um,
that you're like you get to
I got
have
to,
those experiences and
yeah.
like 2 years ago that really just wouldn't have been
No, I mean, I would have been embarrassed if I signed up for a tournament and got in and played.
yeah.
And
Well, like let's just be clear, you should still be embarrassed, but no,
yeah, I
kidding.
was gonna say I still am embarrassed, but I'm proud that I'm putting myself out there to do
No.
it. But I've gotten to Deuce, I've gotten to many 30 alls it was my 4th tournament recently,
Yeah.
this past week.
Most people
And
aren't
I
gonna
mean, it
know
was
what
the
that means,
worst.
but
Yeah. So basically I was close to getting like a game.
yeah.
It takes 12 games to win, and they're winning them really quick. But I was close to getting one.
Yeah.
So it's cool to have those experiences and say, I got to test myself against the world's best. I
Yeah.
don't see myself at that level. There are plenty of people who play on the tour that are delusional. I'm not one of them. I know where I stand.
Name them.
But it's just something that I've always wanted to do and put myself out there. Like Ryan says, I don't put myself out there enough, so I'm doing it that way.
You're doing it on the tennis court. And I should do
Yeah,
that. I should do that because I miss playing tennis. Like, it's just like it's hard to find courts around here. Like, I don't have friends that play tennis, and I don't know. I just need to, yeah, I need to figure that out because I want to be
to get
competing
over
with
you
you.
need honestly, we just need to get over ourselves and just do it.
Yeah, yeah, because I want to be
Look
competing
at
with
that
you.
therapy.
I wanna travel the country, the Midwest, and go on
I'm
these
going to I'm going to Vancouver next week. Come through.
next week.
Yep, I leave next a week from today
Oh,
or a week from yesterday. Yeah.
I'll be in Florida
And then I go
next.
to Chicago and then I go to Philly and then Atlanta,
Maybe in Philly. Maybe I'll see you in Philly, or Ohio
Cincy.
in September. Cincy, yeah. Um, but yeah, okay. I think that's the pod. Um, I had fun. I hope you had fun too. And
Always.
I want to thank you for doing this. And I hope it
For
makes
having
it.
me.
I hope it makes it because,
I mean,
uh,
honestly, if it does, then get a lottery ticket, bitch. Like, honestly.
yeah, I'm not sure if the video is going to get on, but I think the audio is fine. No, just because like yours
A
lagged a
couple of
lot.
times it was saying your internet connection's unstable. I was like, only my therapist can tell me that.
But I think the audio will work. So we'll see. But yeah, thanks again and catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah, stay dumb and broke.